Hey, everybody. Welcome back again to Austin Sports Weekend here with Austin. We are going to talk some more NFL football. We are already finished. How many weeks?
9.
We have done 9 weeks of NFL football already. And then we'll do a little preview for week 10 coming up. But before we do that, thanks again to SevereTV.com for setting us up here in the studio. Thanks again for Autographs Plus hooking us up with a couple sweet autographed helmets again. But let's jump into some football.
Yes,
Thursday night, we
Titans
had,
at the Steelers, and the Titans continue to have issues
and somehow the Steelers continue to win
with Matt Canada.
with Matt Canada.
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea, man.
I don't know
Tomlin
either.
drug him down. You could say drug him down, brought him down, whichever way you want to put it, but he
Tomlin
brought him down to the.
Tomlin figures out a way to win. I don't know
He's
how.
Mike Tomlin. He's a warlock.
He is. How many losing seasons has he had?
0.
He's never had a losing season
I
at
don't know why
Pittsburgh. So I
Steeler
don't.
fans criticize that. You haven't smelled a losing season in over a decade.
Yeah, they haven't been to a Super Bowl in quite some time either, and they're and I know Pittsburgh fans are probably really used to being
In the Super Bowl?
in the Super Bowl quite a bit. But still, though, Will Levis came in. Will Levis didn't look bad this time, but he didn't look as good as he did the first week. And sometimes I'm afraid of that. Once a team's got film on you, I can figure out maybe how to uh, cut you down a little bit.
That Titans offensive line continues to be a problem.
Yeah, and but the Steelers still had. The Titans still had a chance. Still had a chance to win it at the end. Levis threw a pick in the end zone to sort of end the game there, which all the Kentucky fans were probably used to that.
Yes, at some point.
At some point, yeah. But the Titans again, they're young, or they're going to be
They're
young.
choosing Levis over Tannehill for the
Yeah.
rest of the year.
Honestly, that's probably not a bad idea. You need to see if he's going to be the guy or not.
Because Tannehill ain't going to do anything for you at this point in time.
Well, Tannehill's not the guy. I mean, he was good for 2 or 3 years at his prime there, but he's not the guy. He's really not the guy from this time forward. And you're curious if Will Levis is going to be the guy from this time forward. So you got to play him. You got to play him and find out. Go through the rest of the year. Either he'll turn out to be the guy or he won't, and you'll know what to do with your picks.
Yep.
So, let's jump into the Sunday games, covering the Cowboys and the Panthers, the Colts at the Panthers.
Yet another loss. And this time it looked brutal.
It was a little brutal this time. There was a couple picks.
To be honest, pick sixes, if you know what I mean. And this offensive line, if they were to go up against me, I'll probably sack the quarterback.
You could probably sack the quarterback here right now. Yeah, the Panthers are struggling a little bit with offensive line, struggling a little bit with wide receiver getting open. But again, they're young. You're going to have to give them a year or two and see what happens. We were actually talking. They actually don't have any first round picks next year because they.
I can't even enjoy losing.
No, because they don't have their first round
Jeez.
picks. We were always thinking, hey, they can, you can always have your first round pick.
It goes to Chicago.
You gave that up because you got the number 1 pick from Chicago. You took that from them, so the Bears get your number 1 pick.
Top 5 picks right now.
Mm-hmm.
That my life is great as a Panther fan.
Yeah, the Panthers are not going to be good for a year or two. Now they can still pick up some good players. They can still pick. Most of your stars in the NFL don't come out of the first round. They come out of the second to fifth round normally. So we'll you just have to have a little patience with them. We had the Cowboys, the Eagles, and just like I thought, the Cowboys just can't win
Those big games.
the big games. They just can't win the big games. One way or the other, they figure out a way to lose it. And the Eagles probably still are the best team in the NFC right now. We thought the 49ers were, but injuries sort of snatched them back a little bit. Now, the 49ers may come back again and still end up being the one going to the Super Bowl, but right now the Eagles are sort of the prime in the NFC, and the Cowboys are still the Cowboys. Dolphins, Chiefs, and the Frankfurt,
Why was
Germany.
this game in Germany though?
I don't know. This was a really good game, and I don't think we got to see the offenses at full speed because of the time change and everything, and the
But
jet lag.
Matt Nagy, 59 total yards for the Chiefs offense. How do you do that?
I don't know, and win. Hey, do you know the Chiefs are the first team now to win a game in 4 different countries. That's true. They've won in England, they've won in Germany, they've won in the U.S., of course, and then they've won in Mexico. So they are the first NFL team ever to win 4 different games in 4 countries. So there's your gold star for that, whatever that actually means. And the Dolphins, I worry about it a little bit. The Dolphins still have not beat a team with a winning record.
That can be an issue for legitimacy going forward.
Yeah, they've got an explosive offense, but they still haven't turned that final corner to beat the big teams yet.
Yeah, against the Eagles and the Chiefs, they fall apart.
So we'll just have to see if they can figure out how to get that done later. But right now, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and the Eagles are still the Eagles. That's basically what it comes down to, ain't it? We had the Seahawks at the Ravens. This was sort of my surprise blowout of the week.
Why is every single one of these highly anticipated games, why do they always turn out a blowout?
37-3. Now, the good thing for the Ravens fan, if you're a Ravens fan,
You got to be overjoyed.
they're clicking right now. They started out a little sluggish.
But now that coordinator change is starting to
It's starting
bear
to
fruit.
It's starting to it is starting to click a little bit. The Ravens are looking really, really good, and they're going to be dangerous down the stretch. Now, the
Seahawks-
the very opposite of that is
The Seahawks got to be a little discouraged.
to
that.
to only get 3 points. You wouldn't expect a Seahawk team to only get 3 points.
No, not under Pete Carroll.
No, and they're not a bad team. This ain't like this was the other bird, the Cardinals. This is the Seahawks.
We'll get to that
We'll
disaster.
get to that in a second. Yeah. So the Seahawks aren't a bad team. So to only score 3 points either means they had a bad week, or the Ravens may be getting better than what we think they are. Let's jump into that bad one. The Cardinals-Browns. Man,
The Cardinals are pitiful.
they traded Josh Dobbs and
They can't even get a
0
first
points.
down.
How do you get 0 points against the Browns defense?
Well, the Browns just absolutely throttled them. They absolutely ran them over with a pickup truck, beat them in the front end, beat them in the back end, beat them up in the middle, and any
27
which way
to-
you could think.
0. How do you get 0 points in a
That's a
NFL
new
game?
level of suck that I don't
mean-
think I have.
Kickers can make 60-yard kicks these days. How did you not at least get up to the 43? I mean, you get up to the 43 of you get up to the opponent's 43. That's a 60-yard field goal.
This confirms my theory as to why the Cardinals are really bad. Maybe because they don't have any talent.
Hey, as bad as your Panthers doing right now, the Cardinals are worse.
Record-wise, at least.
1-8. 1-8.
Gosh.
And not looking at them. Now, I think they're tanking on purpose. I still think they're shooting for the number 1 pick, but we'll just sort of see. Now, on a weird note, they're supposed to bring back Kyler Murray now in a couple weeks. Now,
Yeah. I don't know what.
I don't know what the game plan is on that. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The Cardinals don't make a lot of sense to me this year, though, so we'll just have to sort of see how that goes. We had the Buccaneers at the Texans. Man, what a game.
That was a back-and-forth
39 to
shootout.
37. And honestly, the Buccaneers should have won, but
Todd Bowles.
Superman came out, C.J. Stroud,
Superman. He pulled his cape out.
470 yards passing and 5 touchdowns.
Count them at home, kids in elementary school.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 touchdowns in a game is tough for anybody to do, much less a rookie.
He went. I think he morphed into prime Peyton Manning.
You want to know
for a game?
You know the difference, just for fun, the difference between the Texans offensive coordinators and the Steelers offensive coordinators?
What?
C.J. Stroud, as a rookie, has more passing touchdowns than Pickett does in his career so far.
That is nuts. C.J. Stroud has just played phenomenal.
He has played phenomenal. Now, he's still a rookie. You know, last week he looked
But this week,
This week he
just,
looked like Superman. So you don't know if you're going to get Clark Kent or Superman, but he's got some serious talent. And also, we need to pay attention to the coordinators and the coaches of the Texans, because these have to be some pretty good coaches to draw that kind of talent out of somebody that hasn't been in there but 8 games.
Yeah, that's just. And C.J. Stroud has thrown for over 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, and a single pick.
Yes,
He's going to run away with Rookie
he is.
of the
He
Year.
is. You just might as well give it to him right now. He could probably take the rest of the year off and still get Rookie of the Year out of
I will
of
give
what's out there.
props to CJ. He's proven me wrong this season.
He is fantastic. He has been. Yeah, I was really. Now I wasn't as much doubting him as I was doubting Ohio State. Very rarely pumps out a quarterback that makes it.
CJ seems to be a good guy
CJ,
too.
he seems like he's really, really, really doing good. So
He's
kudos
going to
to-
try to.
I'm really curious to see how his career goes. I am really.
It all is all. That's up to the Texans.
And that's not a strong division right now. There's not a Tom Brady New England Patriots in that division right now.
No, there's not.
So they could really quickly overtake that division and be the number one team in it next year even.
If CJ Stroud plays like he did against the Bucks,
Imagine if he gets a year better.
then we could possibly see him a Pro Bowl, possibly MVP candidate.
Yeah, next year. And again, we're throwing a crown on him, and he's just a rookie. You don't want to do that. You want to
Yeah.
let him develop, because we've had people look good before.
But I'm
and then
impressed.
but right now, he's looking really
I'm
good.
impressed.
You can't judge anybody on how good they're going to be or how bad they're going to be
Do you
in
know
their
who- do you-
first
do you know-
year.
Do you know what disgusts me about the game, though?
What's that?
Todd Bowles' clock management at the
Yeah.
end.
Todd Bowles is a stupendous defensive coordinator, but shouldn't be a head coach. That's just my opinion, but there it is.
In 30 seconds, they let them drive all the way down the field and score a
40,
touchdown.
there was 46 seconds left, and they got a
Do you
touchdown,
know
and
how
there was
many-
still 6 seconds.
Do
So
you know-
40 seconds. They gave up a touchdown in 40
Do you know
seconds
how many
to a rookie.
seconds were left at the end of the clock?
6.
6.
Yeah. Yeah. So 40 seconds, and you gave up a touchdown drive to a rookie.
Oh, Todd.
Yeah.
He morphs into toilet bowls.
They should have, whenever they got their last touchdown, they shouldn't have ran it in so quick.
That's what I mean by bad clock management.
Yeah, if they would have, if he would have coached them for the running back to fall down at the 1 yard line, they could have just let the clock tick out and then kicked a field goal and won. They wouldn't have even needed the.
How
touchdown.
do you mismanage an
I don't know.
excellent Baker performance?
Yeah, Baker was spectacular in this game too. It was really sad to see somebody lose. I would love to see games like that every week, but hey, like I said, congrats to the Texans. That's it. We got Bears, Saints. Saints pulled it out. Bears didn't look too bad in this game. They looked, maybe they're still not good.
They're
but
still not good, but
They looked respectable in this game.
there's some positives that you can draw out of this season at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year. By the way it looks right now, they got 2 top 5 picks to spend in the
And
draft.
how about did they pick up a pretty good player at the deadline too?
Montez Sweat, they're forking the money to him too. So
Yeah, they got Montez Sweat, and they already got a 4-year contract with him
and DJ Moore's big old
and
contract,
DJ Moore, and they got a good defensive player anyways already
And-
there.
and they got 2 top 5 picks. If I also mention that again,
Yes.
they just got to find the right coach. I don't think they got the right coach.
No, I don't think. And honestly, they need to find a good quarterback. I don't know.
I'd say maybe try out Justin Fields again for another year, maybe with a different coach.
Maybe Justin Fields has got a lot of talent, and but I just don't know if the Bears. The Bears are notorious for bringing quarterbacks in, and
It's a quarterback factory for all the wrong reasons.
yeah. We had the Vikings, Falcons. This was my favorite game of the week. Josh Dobbs,
Put on his astronaut suit and just
ex-Tennessee Vol quarterback, came in on Tuesday.
put on the Superman cape.
Put on the Superman. He was actually not supposed to start this week. This was supposed to be
Jared Hall's game.
Jared Hall's game, and then
He got knocked out with a
He
concussion.
got a concussion.
Astro Dobbs comes in
So Dobbs, who had not thrown one pass to one receiver
on that
not
whole
took-
Vikings team.
not took one snap from the center, not at any, didn't even know the players' last names.
he
came
goes
in,
in.
and learned and showed the team his snap cadence on the sideline.
And
Went
just
in,
went in on the fly and just tried to throw to these
went in on the
receivers.
fly, and the head coach was actually explaining the plays to him.
O'Connell was explaining
He
it
was
to him.
explaining the plays in his head set as they were happening, and
He
Dobbs
pulled together
threw
some great drives together.
3 for 2 touchdowns, ran for another touchdown. What 222 yards total, 3 touchdowns, and and a 2-minute drive. How do you do a 2-minute drive and you don't know the plays?
And you throw a
And you
game-winning
threw a
pass.
game-winning pass. How do you? That was one of the most, and the whole country's talking about it. It was just one of the most
And now
phenomenal
Viking
things.
fans are shaving their eyebrows off to look like dogs now.
Yeah, he got NFC Player of the Week. Nickelodeon named him Player of the Week. The NASA Center gave him a nickname. I mean, that was a
He's
spectacular. That was a fun.
Astro-Dobbs.
That was, he's Astro Dobbs, but now he's also called Pastro Dobbs. Because
I call him Master of the Dobble.
yeah, he is the master of the double. He can make a play out of nothing. It was 4th and 7 on the last drive, and he ran for 22. So he can turn.
I love that.
that
I'm going
was
to keep
fantastic.
that dobbling phrase, though.
That was that.
used that
That
ever
was
since-
fantastic to see.
Ever since he was in college, I used dobbling
He's
as a
double.
phrase for him.
Because he's finds some way to get out of trouble. He's not he's not super. I mean, he's athletic, don't get, but he's not Michael Vick. He's not Joe Montana and Michael Vick. But sometimes he finds a way to win, man. That's what he did when he was at Tennessee. He could take a bad play call or a bad situation and just make something good out of it. So fantastic for
Hi,
Dobbs.
Butch.
Jump on down. We got Rams, Packers.
Rams have problems.
Well, their starting quarterback
Was injured.
out. Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to start, and they called him out sort of late there.
The Rams need to dig themselves out of a 3-6 hole.
Hey, they picked up a good backup, though, didn't they?
They got Carson Wentz.
They picked up Carson Wentz.
Yes, the meme has returned.
He is back. Carson Wentz. Let's see how many picks he throws. Now, Carson's a good guy. I hope he does good there. But I think the Packers are, they sold the farm to get the Super Bowl, and now they're paying for it. I think,
Yeah, they are paying for
the
it.
big contracts, the elder players. It didn't take long for the team to fall apart, and I think they're going to be close to rebuild mode. To be honest, we had the Commanders at the Patriots.
The
That
Patriots
was a fun
offense.
game.
The Patriots offense is still a dumpster fire at the
It
moment.
is. Well, maybe this next game we're going to talk about, they could get their offensive coordinator back. We had the Giants Raiders without.
Well, we forgot to mention this point.
Yeah,
Josh McDaniels, the legendary derp, he's gone
he got fired. Yeah, we've been saying all year long he is the worst coach
in football.
in football. Now he's not, though. He's not the worst head coach in the NFL. So we'll have to find somebody else now. But he's a good offensive coordinator. He was Tom Brady's offensive coordinator for several years at the Patriots.
But
That's
not
what I'm
only
saying.
he is
maybe
gone-
maybe the Patriots can get him back up there now.
Not only is he gone,
Oh, they
but
cleaned house.
the GM's gone, the offensive coordinator's gone, the quarterback Jimmy was benched.
Yeah.
Just a full-fledged flush.
Yeah, so Antonio Pierce, the defensive end for the Giants forever and ever and ever, came in and coached against the Giants, shut them down, beat them 30-6. They were all sitting around smoking cigars.
Do you know why?
the locker room
There was
after
a
the
story
game.
about why Josh McDaniels was fired in the first place. It came from a team meeting before the Lions game. They gathered together and they aired their grievances, and Joshy boy got absolutely hammered.
Yeah, there were
by
several
complaints,
several players on the team hammered him, and he didn't take it very well.
and he was very distant in the practices. And when Antonio Pierce came in to speak for him, he mentioned how his Giants team beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And
trying
Josh-
to pump up the team. Anybody can beat a game. Anybody can win a game if they.
But Josh McDaniels had a problem with it and
he
said,
said, "Don't talk about my Patriots."
Oh boy!
Yeah,
Thank
so-
goodness they're gonna move on from that.
Yeah, I'm glad that he's gone because I've got a soft spot for the Raiders. I always have. I mean, everybody likes
the autumn
the
wind.
black and silver. Everybody
autumn
likes
wind.
yeah. So I'm glad that the Raiders got rid of that, and
Maybe they could
I hope
play-
they turn in the right direction now.
They can potentially now. They're 4-5. They have plenty of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of mediocrity in the NFL this year. There's nobody running away. There's not 8-0 teams out there that are beating everybody. I think anybody at this point could possibly be beat. So the Raiders could pick it up and jump into a wild card spot. There's still plenty of time left. The only team that I see picking up and running right now is the one we've called along. Bills at the Bengals.
Bengals got up early and never let go.
Yeah, did you see they checkered? They didn't checker it, but they striped to the
It was pretty
stadium.
cool that they
It
made
was
it look
pretty
like
cool.
a Bengal.
Yeah, they striped it red and black like the Tennessee does their checkering orange and white. They actually striped it, and it looked really, really cool. And just like we said, everybody's healthy, and the Bengals are in full
Let's
swing
go.
right now.
Let's
They are in
go.
full swing right now. I would not want to play the Bengals. It looks like it might come down again to the Bengals
And the Ravens down the stretch.
and the Ravens, or you throw in the Chiefs. Chiefs are always going to be there because they're the Chiefs. So those three teams look like the cream of the crop right now. The Bills, on the other hand, they're going to have to get rid of that offensive coordinator. I gave him the benefit of the doubt for the
Ken
for the past
Dorsey.
year. They're getting worse.
They're regressing badly.
They went from the most explosive offense in the NFL now to where they're struggling to get 18 points. Ken Dorsey, they're going to do something with Ken Dorsey. He's getting worse. I don't know if he's trying.
He's trying too hard.
He's trying to,
maybe.
what it is.
I think his game plan is this, Dad. I explained it to you.
Yeah.
Deep pass. Deep pass.
Let's see. It's 3rd and 4.
then deep pass.
Let's throw a 20-yard pass.
That's
I
not.
don't. Yeah, I watched the game and I was like, what? Why
And
would
then I
you-
explained it to you. It's
It's
see,
third.
it's deep pass.
It's 3rd and 2. Let's throw a 15-yard pass.
Hey, it's 4th and 3. Let's throw a 40-yard pass.
I don't understand it, and I think they're really struggling with it right now.
They really got to get it in gear.
And they've got the same talent. It ain't like they've lost all their players and there's nobody there to do it anymore.
But hey, Brian Dable's having trouble in New York. Maybe there's a way they can reunite.
Hey, maybe Dable can leave the Giants and go back, and maybe McDaniels can go back to the Patriots, and both.
Everybody's happy. again.
Everybody's happy again. But the Bengals, I would not want to play right now. Our Monday night game, Chargers Jets.
Zach Wilson's not the answer. He's never really been the answer.
No, he is. He has a Band-Aid over your cut off arm. You know, it might stop a little bit of the bleeding, but,
But it's still gonna
you're still gonna die if you don't do something about it. And the Chargers look good at the Jets, but I wouldn't trust. That is fool's gold. They will be terrible this week.
What do you mean? That Brandon Staley is the head coaching equivalent of two kids standing on each other's shoulders in a trench coat.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
And guess what? He's probably the worst coach in the NFL now that McDaniels is gone.
Here you go, Brandon.
Either him or Todd Bowles, I don't know, but I would probably give it to Staley as the worst one now, maybe. Anyways, that is our recap of Week 9. Let's jump into some new games here. Let's do some positivity. Thursday night we got the Panthers at the Bears. What do you think?
This is besides this game being at Tank Bowl. I
Bears
don't really know.
The Bears are 2-7. Panthers are 1-7.
Besides that trade, I think
It's. I would probably honestly take the Bears just because it's in Chicago.
it's in Chicago, and they got more talent right now offensively at the very moment.
Well, they've got a better defense too. That's what you worry about because the offensive line for the Panthers is terrible,
Awful.
terrible, and the Bears' defensive is pretty good. So he might be running for his life, to be honest, a little bit.
When has he not ran for his life?
Well, they did get the one win. It was decent. He
Even
still
in
ran
the-
for his life in that one. They just happened to win it. Yeah. Okay, jumping on into Sunday's game. The Bears minus 3.5 is probably going to happen. Sunday's games we'll talk about my Cowboys before we get into Germany. We got the Giants at the Cowboys.
The Giants now have to deal with Daniel Jones being out for the year, and the coaching staff in complete flux. The players
Yeah.
are in complete flux. The fan base is completely turned on Dable and company. It's just an ugly situation.
It's an ugly situation right now. And now let's talk about the Giants. Oh, I thought we were talking about the Cowboys. It's an ugly situation. For some reason, Dallas is favored by 17. Like this is a college game or something. I don't know if Dallas can score 17. Let's beat somebody by 17.
I want to take it. I'm going to take that line.
You're going to take Dallas minus 17?
I think the Giants are that pitiful.
I think the Cowboys are that bad. I don't know. That's sort of a split down. I'm probably just a cynic because I'm a Cowboy fan.
But hey, the Giants can't.
I think the Cowboys are going to win. Don't get me wrong, but it may be by a field goal.
The Giants can't throw the ball to Jalen Hyatt all of a sudden.
And well, they don't. They're Their backup quarterback's pretty bad, ain't he?
Oh, Tommy DeVito. They're going to start him.
Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito,
Tommy DeVito.
the Penguin. They got the Penguin in there throwing the football.
That's perfect on brand for that team.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Cowboys might pull it, but I just don't trust them. We got our Germany game this week. Again, we had London back to back. We got Germany back to back. We got 9 o'clock and 9:30 in the morning. We got the Colts at the Patriots.
I'm going to pick Indy here. I think
I'd
the
probably
Patriots
pick Indy too. The Patriots are sort of suffering right now.
There are rumors, though.
What's
There's
that?
some shocking rumors
What's
that Robert Kraft could fire Belichick if he doesn't win this game.
I don't think that he fires.
There's
Belichick.
rumors flying around that he could possibly pull the plug.
There would be 31 other teams ready to hire him.
I'm
the
just saying
Patriots let
there's a
him go.
rumor. There's a rumor. I'm not saying it's official, but it's flying around.
That would shock the world if Belichick was, after giving them 6 Super Bowls.
And then they fire him after leaving
and fired him after 2 years of not having an offensive coordinator.
And why would they try to leave him in Germany though?
I don't know. That would shock. I do have the Colts winning though, so we'll sort of see how that
Minshew
how
and
that
company.
goes. Now this is the fun game of the week. We got the up and down Texans, which are really really hot right now, at the Bengals. I'm still going to
Pick
take the
Cincinnati.
Bengals.
They're at home.
Yeah. Cincinnati's favored by 6.5. Honestly, think the Bengals probably do that. They're on fire right now. Burrow's completely healthy, and he may run for 20. He may throw for 20. I think they put up 30 points this week because the Texans have a good offense, but they'll give up 30 points on defense too, though. So
That just comes with the rebuilding process for Houston.
although I do think this is going to be a really fun game. I got the Bengals. We got the Packers Steelers. I think the Steelers find a way to win it.
I mean, the Packers aren't anything special either right now.
It may be 16-14.
But they'll find a way because
find a
Mike
way to
Tomlin
win.
is Mike Tomlin.
Plus the Packers won one last week, and I don't think they're good enough to win 2 in a row.
Especially at Pittsburgh with all
No,
those waving
it's at
towels.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's only favored by 3.5, so I'm sort of
Steelers
I'm
are 6 and
okay
3
with
with
that
one
too.
of the worst offenses in the NFL.
5-3, but they will be 6-3.
That's
They
incredible.
will be, yeah. Got the Titans at the Bucks.
Oh boy.
Tampa's only favored by 1. I honestly like Tampa because it's in Tampa.
Besides, they got one of the coolest stage props in the league. They got that big old pirate
The
ship.
big old pirate ship and the cannons when they go off. Yeah, I just don't. I don't trust. Honestly, their offense yet. They're going to start Levis the rest of the year, and I just don't know.
They're going to give him a whirl.
I just don't.
Unless Todd Bowles,
Todd Bowles is a good defensive.
he is a
coordinator.
good defensive mind, but not a qualified head coach.
No, and if the Bucks put up, last week they put up 37. If the Bucks put up 30 this week, do you think the Titans gonna score 30?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm sort of comfortable with the Bucks -1 there. We got the Browns Ravens.
That's
Good
a
game.
classic rival game.
The Browns against the ex-Browns. I hate you. Okay, I hate you too. That's what
Baltimore's
this game-
favored by 6.5. That's too much.
I think that's too much. I like the Browns at -6. Although the Ravens are murdering people right now. I mean, they're winning 37-0.
Squeaking a murderer's road, a murder of crows.
A murder of crows. That's what a group of crows is called. A murder. Educational, kids. We are educational here also. But yeah, I'd sort of like the Browns at -6.5 because this will be a knockdown, drag them out game, and the Browns have got a pretty good defense. We got the 49ers Jaguars. This will be a fun game too.
49ers Jaguars. This is a get right game for the Niners after a 3-game losing streak.
I don't think they lose 4 in a row.
That would be disastrous if that were to
Although
happen.
they are still real. If they can get all their people back healthy, they need Deebo Samuel healthy. I don't know why, but he must be the blood of the team or something.
Because he is a
He
big
went down.
piece.
They've lost every game since he went down.
That's how valuable he is.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see, but I do like the 49ers in this.
Yeah, in this
-3.
game, beat the Jaguars. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be too upset.
No. And this is probably my fun game of the week because this is going to be Dobbs Part 2.
Literally.
Saints at the Vikings.
New Orleans flavor.
Yeah, Hall is still in the concussion protocol. So Dobbs gets the start. The Saints are at the Vikings. Dobbs actually gets to learn the players' names this week before he plays.
I've somehow got Minnesota winning this.
I've
They're
got
on a
Minnesota,
roll right now.
Minnesota was on a roll before Kirk Cousins got hurt.
They were
So
1-3. They went to
They won-
four
they-
and they went to 3-4 or 4-3
They were 3-1 their last. Now they're 4-1, I guess.
in their last 5 games
The last
for the
5
Vikings.
games with the Vikings. So the team had gelled. So the team.
I'm gonna pick me some Vikings.
If Dobbs could just step in and not, lose the game, then I think the Vikings. New Orleans is favored by 3, so I'm definitely taking the upset in this one. We got the Falcons Cardinals.
This is just a complete mismatch.
That's Falcons. Falcons are only favored by 2. I am comfortable, very, very comfortable
With the Dirty Birds.
With the Dirty Birds on that one. Lions Chargers.
This
I got the Lions on this one too. Even
They
though
can't-
it's going to be hard for Detroit to go all the way across country and go to the Chargers.
But Brandon
okay with
Staley
that.
is Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
He will find a way to not achieve more than.
The Chargers looked good last week, which means
They're not going to look good this week.
they won't look good this week. And I do like the defensive mind of the Lions, so we'll definitely take the Lions. Detroit -3. Got the Commanders Seahawks.
Give me some Seahawk
I'm
in this
Seahawk-
one.
I'm
The
Seahawk-
Tank Commanders are Tank Commanders.
The Tank Commanders. They are tank. They're tanking. No, I don't know if they're tanking on purpose. But yeah, Seattle -6.5. I'm definitely after losing last week. We got the Jets Raiders. I'm going.
I'm going to pick the Raiders.
I'll probably pick the Raiders
The Raiders are revitalized, I feel.
too. Again, it's there's not a lot of film on the new Raiders team, so it's going to be harder to scheme.
Because it's going to be, they look much different.
They looked totally different last week, so it's going to be hard for the. Now, if the Jets can do a lot of in-game scheming, then they can still win
And Zach
the game.
Wilson can't throw the game away.
But I still, especially since it's at the Raiders and the team's sort of coming off of that vibe, I'm going that. We got Broncos Bills. I definitely got the Bills in this one. That's our Monday night game.
They should, unless Ken Dorsey's playbook is deep pass, deep pass, deep pass.
If they lose this against the Broncos, look out for some explosions. There might be some
Head coach firing.
you out and you out and you. I don't know if they do the head coach, but it might be time to swap some coordinators around. The head coach will normally get the leniency and they'll fire some coordinators. That's normally how it goes.
Unless you're the Raiders.
Unless you're the Raiders. You want to know how bad that situation is, just to say the owner actually had to pay $85 million out of his pocket to do that. And he was like,
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Now they're paying over like $180 million to Gruden and McDaniel. Sorry for that.
But hey, anyways, that's it. We got the Bills that are finishing at the end -7. So that is it for our recap of Week 9 and our picks for Week 10. We hope you had a little fun with us. It is football time. So thanks again for watching us. Thanks again for checking us in. Share us with your friends. Tell somebody about us. Thanks again for SevereTV.com for setting us up here. Thanks again for Autographs Plus. And we'll see you for more NFL football.
See you next week.